So far we have been looking at situations where we throw this ball horizontally, right? Now what happens if I throw this ball at an angle? That is, I'm going to throw it like this, so it is going to go up and come down that way. In that case, obviously you cannot say that if I drop this ball and I throw this ball, they'll take the same time. But it turns out that if you throw this ball with a vertical velocity upwards, like that, that is, the vertical components are the same. So let me show you. If I throw this ball like that, it has one component this way and one component that way, right? So this component is the same for this ball or for any other ball with whatever horizontal velocity, as long as both of these are the same. Let us say this was 7 meters per second, this is 7 meters per second, then whatever this velocity is does not matter. So this could have 7 meters per second that way plus 5 meters per second this way, and it won't matter, it will take the same time. So this guy goes up and this fellow comes back down. This will reach the same height. Okay, it will reach the same maximum height as this fellow reaches, and it comes back down. And if after 3 seconds this ball is here, this fellow is going to be at the same level after 3 seconds. So what should matter here is the fact that they both have the same vertical velocity. So if you have the same vertical velocity, you take the same time to hit the ground. Think of it that way. So suppose I tell you I have one object given a velocity of, let us say, 2i cap plus 5j cap, and I have another object thrown from the same place, but now with a velocity of minus 3i cap plus 5j cap meters per second, of course, both of these because they are velocities. Then both will take this exact same time to hit the ground as long as they started from the same height. So this fellow goes up like that and comes down. This will go up to the same height and come down. The vertical motions are the same if the j cap components are the same. Okay, I can't show it as easily as I did with horizontal, but I'll try to. So if I try to throw this ball up and try to do that, see, almost, right? You can see that that goes up, it reaches the same height. Of course, I'm not able to tell you or show you that this velocity that I threw it with and that velocity, they have the same vertical component. But if it's the same height, they must have the same vertical component. So in some sense, I'm cheating because I'm using the result to prove the result, which is not really valid. So you have to take this on belief right now, that if the vertical components are the same, then the vertical motion for both of these will be identical. The horizontal velocity does not matter. It actually comes from the earlier explanation, okay, if you want a proof in some sense, because instead of starting from here, you can start from here, and you will see that there is a vertical component, and you can say that that is what is going to happen to another ball which was thrown very fast. But right now, let's not focus so much on the proof, instead focus on the fact. The fact is, if the vertical components are the same, the vertical motion is exactly the same. That is, this guy's height will be equal to this fellow's height. This fellow's position after 5 seconds will be the same as this fellow's position after 5 seconds. Okay? So whatever time this takes to hit the ground will be exactly the same time that that takes to hit the ground. Let us do an example using this so that we will be able to get a better clarity on how to use this in problem solving. Now let us look at this question. Here I have a ball that is thrown with a velocity of 3i cap plus 5j cap. J cap obviously is the upward direction. So it's going to go up like that and it's going to strike the ground here. The first part of the question that I want to answer is what is its velocity after 1.5 seconds. So let us assume that it is somewhere here after 1.5 seconds. So this is 1.5 seconds later. First point is that it has a horizontal component of velocity which does not change at all, right? So this remains 3 meters per second. 3 I cap meters per second means 3 meters per second has not changed. In terms of vertical component, let us draw another ball that was thrown up with a velocity of 5 meters per second. That is 5j cap meters per second starting here. Now 1.5 seconds later, what is its velocity? So I can use v equals u plus at. So if I start by assuming upward direction as positive, okay, so g is 10 meters per second square downwards, right? So v is u, which is plus 5, plus 8 into t. A is minus 10 because upwards is positive, that is minus. So minus 10 into t. T is given 1.5 seconds. So into 1.5. So what is this? Minus 10 into 1.5 is how much? It is minus 15. So 5 minus 15 is minus 10. So that means this velocity is minus 10 meters per second, which means downwards 10. So here you have a velocity of 10 meters per second in the downward direction. So if you wanted to mark this velocity and give it as a velocity vector, I would say it is 3i cap minus 10 j cap meters per second. So I hope that is clear. So finding the velocity after 1.5 seconds is extremely simple. By the way, you should be able to do these kinds of calculations mentally. You should be able to say 5 meters per second, I am adding 1.5 times 10, which is 15 downwards. 5 up plus 15 down is minus 10, okay, or 10 downwards. That's basically what we are getting. So the ability to do that calculation is very quick. I mean, doing it quickly is important. For example, if I told you that somewhere here on the path, I had a velocity which has a horizontal component of 4 meters per second, that's not possible at all. It should have only 3 meters per second because horizontal component does not change. But if somebody tells you the velocity there is 3 meters per second horizontally and vertical is, let us say, 8 meters per second, and they want to ask you how much time does it take to get there, that's very easy to find. How will you find the time? T is the change in velocity by acceleration. What is the final velocity? Minus 8. What is the initial velocity? Plus 5. Initial velocity is plus 5. Final velocity is minus 8. What happened to the 3? Does not matter because you are looking at the problem as if there was only a vertical throw. There is no horizontal motion at all. That's what you are going to imagine. So you are going to say no horizontal motion. Let us just take this entire thing as if the ball was thrown up. So when it is only thrown up, you know that you can write v minus u by a. So v minus u. So what is the formula I am using? V minus u by a is t. So this is v minus u, vertical only, by a. What is a? A is the acceleration, 10 meters per second squared downward. So I should use minus 10. And so if I did that, this is minus 13 by minus 10, 1.3 seconds. So this happens at 1.3 seconds. So what does it tell us? It tells us that if you are given the time, you can calculate the velocity. And if you are given the velocity, you can calculate the time. So I hope that is clear. Now let us take the same question and ask the next part, which is to say, I know the building height is 10 meters. I threw this and this fellow hits the ground. Okay, now I don't know the velocity. Can I find out what is the range? Can I find out, range basically means the horizontal displacement. Okay, can I also find out the time that it takes to hit the ground? That is the question. Okay, how will you solve that? Well, it is the same as the time that this fellow takes to hit the ground. But do you know how to calculate this? Yes, you can use S is equal to ut plus half at square. So what is S? So starting here and ending there, S is 10 meters downwards. So I will write that as minus 10. I am using the formula S is ut plus half at square. S is minus 10. U is 5. So ut plus half at square. Half a, but remember a is minus 10. So minus 10 by 2, minus 10 by 2, half a t square. So this is going to be minus 5. So bring it to this side. You will find it is 5t square minus 5t minus 10 is 0. You can cancel out the 5. You will get a 2 there. Okay. So if I solve for t, I can find out what t is. T is minus b plus or minus root of b square minus 4ac. 4 into 1 into minus 2, so that is 8, and it's minus, so that means it becomes a plus 8 by 2. So this is 9. So the answer is 1 plus or minus 3 by 2. Can't be minus because it will give me a negative number. 1 plus 3 is 4, 4 by 2 is 2 seconds. Okay, so this is one way to find the time. So I have found that this time is t equals 2 seconds. Now once you find t is 2 seconds, what would be the horizontal displacement? That only depends on 3 meters per second. Because you know it is traveling for 2 seconds. Imagine now a horizontal ball that would have traveled without worrying about the vertical. The vertical does not disturb or affect the horizontal motion. So this motion does not affect that motion. So therefore the range r must be equal to 3 meters per second into 2 seconds, which is 6 meters. That must be the range. Could I have done this differently? Yes, we could have. Okay. So let us start by saying this is 5 and let us say that this velocity here, I'll call it capital V. So then I can say V square, it doesn't matter whether I put a plus or minus, minus 5 square is 2 into A, which is minus 10, into S, which is 10. Is S 10 or minus 10? S should be also minus 10 because it's downwards. A is minus because it's downwards. S is also downwards, so you should use minus 10. So what do I get here? 200. 25 goes there, 225. So V turns out to be root of 225, which is 15. Plus or minus. It doesn't matter. It could be plus or minus 15. But you know it is downwards. So it must be 15 meters per second downwards. What does that mean? Minus 15. So the velocity here, if I wanted to mark the velocity, the downward component is minus 15 j cap. That is 3. So you know that this velocity is 3 I cap minus 15 j cap meters per second. Once I have found it is 15 meters downwards, I only found the vertical component. Once I found the speed downwards, right, in the downward direction, I know the speed is 15, then I could have used 5 minus 15, right? So what is the change in velocity? Final velocity minus initial velocity, and final velocity minus initial velocity by acceleration will give me the time. So by acceleration, I know the acceleration is minus 10. So this is minus 20 by minus 10, 2 seconds. That's exactly the same time that we had got earlier using this quadratic equation. If you don't like the quadratic equation, you can go with this. Okay. So either way, the main idea is that you are using straight line motion problem solution that we have already learnt a lot. We are using that to solve the projectile motion questions. So I hope the idea is clear. So you are solving this problem by solving this problem. Now how do you know to solve this problem? This you already learnt. So you can solve it by using S is equal to ut plus half at square. You can use v square minus u square is 2a. You have so many different ways to solve this. Once you solve this, you have solved that. Okay. So basic idea is that if you find velocity, the vertical component of velocity, you will be able to find time. And if you find time, you will be able to find the vertical component of velocity. So I hope this is clear. So in this question, it started at a height and it landed up on the ground. In a different question, it can start here and land there. Sometimes it will start at the same level and land back at the same level. So let us quickly look at a question where it lands back at the same level. We'll call these ground to ground projectiles. So in this question here, I am throwing this ball with a velocity of 5 I cap plus 4 j cap meters per second. From here, from the ground, it is going to go up and it's going to come back here, back to the ground, right? Now the question is, you already know the vertical velocity and the horizontal velocities, they are independent. And you also know that the horizontal velocity does not change. So what is the horizontal velocity there? 5 I cap. So this we know. Question is, what is the vertical velocity? Well, if I were to basically look at this motion, you know that this basically behaves like this ball thrown up with 4 meters per second. It would go up to the same height that this fellow reaches and then come back down. But if something goes up with 4 meters per second and comes back to the same place, what will be the speed? 4 meters per second. So you know this already. but it is downwards 4 meters per second. So here I am going to write it as minus 4 j cap meters per second. So this velocity would be 5 I cap minus 4 j cap meters per second. Now this is something that you know very quickly, because this is 4, that must be 4. So you know that this is 4 j cap, that must be minus 4 j cap. And how much time will it take to do this? Well, what is the change in velocity? This is minus 4, that is plus 4. So what is the change in velocity? It is minus 4 final velocity minus plus 4, which is the initial velocity, divided by the acceleration minus 10. So minus 8 by minus 10, 0.8. This is something I would like you to do almost mentally. So 4 to minus 4, change in velocity, minus 8 by minus 10, 0.8. So that means this takes 0.8 seconds, that will take 0.8 seconds. So we have found the travel time. 4 minus 4, don't worry about the 5, don't worry about that at all, because the horizontal motion does not affect vertical motion. 4 becomes minus 4, so change in velocity minus 8. Minus 4 minus of plus 4, minus 8 by minus 10, time is 0.8 seconds. Now during this time, this ball obviously also moves horizontally. So what is the range? Range basically means the horizontal displacement. So what is the range? The range is 5 I cap, which is 5 meters per second, into 0.8 seconds. 8 into 5 is 4. So this is 4 meters. So the range is 4 meters. Now suppose I want to find out the maximum height. We call this h max. Just like we call this the range, you want that as we call that the maximum height. Now before we get there, how much time will it take to get to the maximum height? Well, it will take as much time as this takes to get to that point. And what is the velocity there? 0. So what is the change in velocity? Final velocity minus initial velocity by acceleration should give me the time. So the time is 4 by 10, 0.4 seconds. It's obviously this is 0.4 seconds. This is 0.4 seconds. You know that this time is equal to that time. So if this time was 0.8, this time is equal to that time. Not just that, this whole thing is symmetric about this axis. If you look at this point, whatever happens here will also happen there, except in reverse. So if here it has a vertical velocity of 2 meters per second, there it will have a vertical velocity of minus 2 meters per second. Okay, if it has moved so much here, it will have moved the same amount, because the time that it will take to go from here till there is the same as the time it takes from there till here. So that means this time is equal to this time is equal to that time. So this time is equal to 0.4 seconds. At the topmost point, what do you think happens? What is this velocity? 0, because the vertical velocity has become 0. So it has 0 vertical velocity. It only has 5 j cap. This turns out to be very useful. At the topmost point, the vertical velocity is 0. Whole velocity is not 0. Vertical velocity is 0. It has only a horizontal velocity. Sorry, this is not 5 j cap. This is 5 I cap. 5 I cap, okay, in that direction. So it has 0 j cap. No velocity. Now if I want to find the maximum height, you can start here and you can say, well, here it had 4 j cap. There it has 0 j cap. The time of travel is 0.4. Average vertical velocity is 4 plus 0 by 2, which is 2 j cap. Average into 0.4. We could have done that here. We can say 4 plus 0 by 2 is the average velocity into the time of 0.4. That's exactly what I'm doing there as well. You just have to start imagining that the horizontal does not matter. So just simply bring it here. So you will be able to use the earlier formula. So what is the displacement? Average velocity into time. So this is 2 into 0.4, which is 0.8 meters. So the maximum height is 0.8 meters. Let me repeat this. 4 j cap, 0 j cap, average velocity 4 plus 0 by 2, 2 j cap, meters per second. Into time, this time was 0.8, this time is 0.4. So 0.4 into 2 is 0.8 meters, and that's what we have got. We could have also done this differently. You can say maximum height there is equal to maximum height here. Final velocity square, so I'm going to use v square minus u square is 2as. What is v square? 0 square. U square, 4 square, is 2 times a, which is minus 10 times s. How much is this? Minus 16 by minus 20. So that means s turns out to be 16 by 20, which is 0.8. Notice s is positive because this is negative and this is negative, s is positive. You have a displacement upwards, up is positive. Right? That's what we have assumed. Whenever you use I and j, remember up is positive because j cap direction is upwards. Okay, so now we have got this is 0.8. If this is 0.8, this must be 0.8. So many different ways of solving this problem. We will come back to these kinds of questions again. But the main thing I want you to keep in mind is once I know that it starts and ends at the same height, I know it is the same as this ball coming back to the same level. If it comes back to the same level, the speeds must be equal because the displacement is 0, average velocity is 0. So u plus v by 2 is 0 because it's uniformly accelerated. U plus v must be 0. So if that is 4, this must be minus 4. If that is minus 4, this must be plus 4. Okay, so these two must be equal and opposite. So you know the vertical velocity here, you know the vertical velocity there. Immediately you know the time, you know the range, you know the height, you know many things. Okay, so these kinds of problems become extremely simple. Use the symmetry involved in the problem. If you know this velocity, you know that velocity. That velocity would have the j component reversed. The I component, of course, remains exactly the same. So I hope this is clear to everybody. So now let us look at this question. From a building, I am throwing this with 6 I cap plus 10 j cap meters per second. This ball is going to go up and is going to strike the ground like that there. And the question we want to know is what is the maximum height? Earlier the maximum height was very easy to find, right? Now I want this as the maximum height from the ground. Now you can think of it as this height. How much is this height? This is 20 plus that height. So actually what I really want is that if I find this height, I can add up and we can find the maximum height. Is it easy to find? Actually quite easy because at the topmost point, what is the velocity? 6 I cap meters per second. That's it. What is the vertical velocity? 0 meters per second. It has no vertical component because the topmost point is when the vertical component has become 0. So if I had thrown this ball up, it would have been thrown up with 10 meters per second. This ball would have gone up, reached that maximum height, and then would have come back down and hit this place. At this point, the velocity has become 0. How much time does it take to go from here to there? Well, how much time will it take to go from 10 to 0? Change in velocity, 0 minus 10 divided by minus 10, which is simply 1. So it takes 1 second, which means this time is 1 second. And if you want the height, you want to find this height, you can do it here, you can do it there. After a while, you should stop drawing this diagram. You should do it here itself. So this is 10. So that's why I'm going to do this. Okay, you can, if you in the beginning draw it separately, it is fine. But as you go on to save time, just simply draw it here. 10 meters per second, 0. So what's the average velocity? 10 plus 0 by 2, which is 5 meters per second. Vertical average velocity into 1 second. So therefore this is 5 meters. What is 5 meters? This is 5 meters. Plus this is 20 meters. Right? Therefore, what is this height? This height is 25 meters. So the maximum height is 25 meters. So I hope that is clear. Now, if you wanted to know how far away is this, that's easy to find as well because this is 1 second. It was moving at 6 meters per second. So it will be 6 meters per second into 1 second. So 6 meters. But the question that's asked is what is the displacement when it hits the ground? Which means I need to calculate this time. We can calculate this time in 2 ways. We can start here and say, okay, it's going up, it is coming down. Displacement is minus 20. So I can write this equation. S is ut plus half a t square. Half a itself is minus 10, right? Minus 10 by 2 is minus 5t square. You can solve this. You will find that you can solve this. If you do that, you will get t square minus 2t minus 4 is 0. You can do s is b, basically t is equal to minus b plus or minus root of b square minus 4ac. I am not going to do that. The second approach is v square minus u square. I am not going to do that either. I am going to say, I already know that this time is 1 second. I have already calculated 25. Correct? So now 25 must be equal to 5t square. Right? Why? Because at the topmost point, it is like dropping the ball. How much is it traveling? 5 meters here, 20 meters there. So 25. So it is falling 25 meters. But you know that if it's falling from dropping, not if I throw, but if I drop a ball, it is going to travel 5t square, half a t square, right? But that time is this time t. Plus 1 will be the total time. Correct? So what is t? T root of 5. It's a messy answer. It is about some 2 something approximately. Okay. So now I have got that this time is 2.2 seconds, right? Approximately 2.2 seconds. That means this time was 1 second, this time was 2.2 seconds. Total time will be 3.2 seconds from here till there. Now with that I can find out what the range is. Remember, this is approximate. This is not exactly 3.2. I should say root 5 plus 1 if I want. So I could then write that this range that I have is 6 into time 3.2 or root 5 plus 1 meters. But that's not the question. The question is about displacement. So from here till there, this would be the arrow representing displacement. So what is S? S has a horizontal part and a vertical part. What is the horizontal part? This. So 6 times root 5 plus 1 I cap. And then what is the vertical part? 20 downwards. So minus 20 j cap meters. This is the displacement. So whenever somebody asks you for displacement, remember they are asking you this. If you want the magnitude of this displacement, you can say root of this square plus that square, which I am not doing. I just wanted the displacement. Okay. So displacement means this, range means this, maximum height you are talking about from the ground. So here the maximum height turns out to be 25 meters. So we could have solved this and you would have got a different time. The time will be root 5 plus 1 because this time represents this whole thing. So just for showing it to you, I will calculate. T is minus b plus or minus root of b square minus 4 times AC. So minus and minus will become plus 4 into 4, 16 by 2a. So this basically becomes 1 plus or minus this root of 20. Root of 20 you can take out the 4. It will become 2. The 2 cancels. So root of 5. You can't have 1 minus root 5. So the time is 1 plus root 5 seconds. This gave you the entire time from here to there, whereas this time we calculated only this. So we didn't count that. So sometimes it's good to do this. Now why would I do this problem? Why won't I use this? I will use this. I have used this because we have already calculated the maximum height. So I know this. I also know this. So I know this entire vertical height that is going to fall by. Therefore,